welcome back as always. We're back again.
Hi.
I'm excited but sad that we're on the last episode of Sozin Comet Part 4 Avatar Aang. Which I meant to say Avatar The Last Airbender.
Avatar Aang.
Avatar Aang it's called. Oh boy. So is that a big spoiler or what? I don't know. But maybe because, you know, they're in an epic battle, but will he survive? I don't know.
It's all about him now. Now it is all about him. What will happen?
What will happen? And they were really concerned, of course, about Zuko.
Tremendously.
Yeah, to say it lightly, right?
Oh, yeah,
is he going to survive? Is he not going to survive? Because his sister really took him out in a cheating way. And talk about honor, though, for him to protect Katara like that. Like,
that was
he's come
amazing.
so far.
He
really has. They all have, but he really just 360, you know, just really helping out the Avatar and the gang. I like him and Katara teaming up, you know, I'm glad she was there to support him through a lot of stuff. And even Zuko meeting up with his uncle, not sure if he could, like, really talk to him, and Katara kind of, like, made him feel better and was like, no, he loves you, he wants to see you, so you should go in there and talk to him, kind of thing. But, yeah, a lot of crazy things happened last episode, like 3 major battles, you know, we had, actually 4, because then we had the White Lotus going after Ba Sing Se to take that back, you know, so that was an epic battle, and just seeing how awesomely powerful Ira was. I mean, all of them, but come on, Ira, like, breathing in the fire and stuff, and then throwing out, like, his own little comet, you know, mostly big fire blast. And then seeing Sokka, Toph, and Suki all in the airships, like, that's a completely different terrain, you're in the air. And then, of course, Toph using metal bending, which really came in handy, so she could actually see as well, you know, being up there.
I hope Zuki's okay.
I hope she is okay. Then we saw, of course, the ultimate battle with Ozai and Aang.
Yeah, so...
That was bad.
That was bad. And I gotta say, though, because Aang had a lot of training, and I know he's innocent and young compared to Ozai, but he really kept up with him for a while.
He did.
Yes.
And he was using 4 elements instead of just 1, like Ozai. And I would say that Aang is just as powerful as Ozai, but he's not a tyrant. He's not evil and doesn't think of, like, he thinks of consequences and stuff, you know? So I think Ozai just lets it out, all the rage and stuff, like how Zuko was, like how he had all that rage with fire, that he was able to really just be super powerful.
Right. And it looks like Aang is being more on the offensive, not defensive, you know, defensive.
Because he's still peaceful and he wants to
not offensive.
make this end okay, but I don't
he's
know.
like, stop it, you know?
Yeah, and it didn't end so well at the end of last episode. That was a cliffhanger, too, where he's just balled up in an earth rock that he bent, you know, and now Ozai's just attacking him.
But
so he's
who
just
knows
all scared.
how he's going to end up.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, so a lot of big battles, and then we had Zuko and Azula do the Agni Kai.
Yeah, and she's just going bonkers, and who knows what's going to happen with Zuko. Hopefully Katara can help him and heal him, but she's got to get Azula out of the way.
Yeah. I loved last episode and how we saw her downfall, where we did see a little bit of that, especially when Azula lost Tylee and May because they betrayed her.
Oh, yeah.
Because she used fear. And they were done with it because they're like, you're so messed up. Like, you're killing these people. And when she took it out on May, that's when Tylee was like, what the heck are you doing? You know? And that was great how... I love that scene in Boiling Rock, how she just,
that
like,
was beautiful.
Completely immobilized her with her...
And she had to do that. And I think that was the beginning of the end for her. Well, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, so for her to really have this downward slope now, because she's been always so proper in her own way, like she's manipulative and stuff. But
evil.
Yeah, but she's just so good at it, you know? And to actually see her disheveled, like you were saying when we saw the thumbnail, that... it's just so different, and you kind of feel bad for her in a way. At least I did last episode, because she even saw her mom in the mirror.
Right, that's when I felt like, you know, she never had that.
Yeah, and we did hear the mom's alive, because remember Ozai even said that to Zuko when they confronted each other a while ago.
That's right.
Yes.
And she goes, my mom's alive. So she has a fear too, because she always like jokes around when they had that beach vacation thing, and all the, you know, Zula, Zuko, Tylee May, they were all fighting each other and stuff and cleansing their souls or whatever. But they were all just speaking their minds. And the fact that Azula kind of joked and kind of had her own deep story, but then she made a joke out of that where she was like, my own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it's still her. But the way she said it, it was so like... You know, I'm like, it kind of feels like if you brought it up that you actually internalized that a little bit, you know, even though she jokes about it. But for her to actually have that image, like, I guess it is an actual hurtful thing for her, whether it's fearful or not. But of course, she's hurt by the fact that she wasn't loved by her mother. But I think she was loved.
I think she totally was, but I think her power to be more in her father's eye over her brother, the jealousy of her brother, I think that overpowered her.
Yeah. And she almost is like regretting it, but like, you know, shows different emotions by like being hateful and upset over it, you know. But yeah, so I felt bad for her last episode. We saw weakness in her that
we never see it. We never see it.
I was like, holy crap, you know, because we're all human. So we all have our thing, you know. You can't be
even if you
robot.
have lightning coming out of your fingers, you're still human.
I know. It's like zap, zap, zap. Yeah, and that was crazy seeing Ozai too, like how Aang and Ozai were just battling each other, and then all of a sudden Ozai was just like letting out the lightning.
Yeah.
He was trying to size him up to see like how powerful Aang was, and then he's like, all right, now I'm just going to kill you because I don't want to do this anymore. And he was just like trying to shoot with lightning. And the fact that Aang could actually redirect it. And he was going to kill Ozai.
He could have done it.
Because Ozai can't redirect lightning, because that was Iroh's technique that he taught Zuko, and Zuko taught Aang, so no one else knows how to redirect lightning. So if he took out Ozai then, he would have killed him, and then that's it, you know? But he couldn't do it, so that's why he pointed it in a different direction. It's kind of fun, like, seeing all these details.
And that was quick, yeah.
I do love the terrain, though, that Ozai and Aang are fighting in, because I think that's perfect, because they're so high up, and you can, like, do anything there, and
like
it
slice
feel like it's just... I don't know,
Top
it's just
of the
perfect.
world.
Yeah, because it's so aggressive in just the elevation differences and just all the rock, and you can use anything there except water, you know, but he can probably take it out of the air like Katara learned how to.
Right, it's almost like a pillar, like
waterfall or
putting those two people, only these two people can stop the war. You know, and they put them above everyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true, too. So it's like, here, be on pedestals and fight, you know? But it is true. Like, it really just comes down to that. Like, the whole team helps out because there's all these points that they have to take over. But at the same time, it really comes down to, of course, Aang and Ozai figuring out good versus evil to tip the world out of balance, to keep it in balance. I don't know. So I think we should get into it. Shall we?
We shall.
Dun, 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 dun. The last one. So much build up, guys. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh.
Space sword.
Ooh. Oh no. Okay. Oh, of course. Of course. Boomerang.
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 Sharp sword.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh, goodness. She's slipping.
No,
She's slipping.
No. Oh. Oh, no.
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 Yay.
She's like, I got this.
Yes, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, Ev. Come on. Something's got to give. Oh. Oh, right on his scar.
Oh. No.
Oh, he's turning.
Oh.
No way. Oh my God, he turned back.
Oh.
Oh my God.
We're about to be.
He's
whatever.
back.
Ooh,
Oh my
look at
God,
that.
he's
Oh my
done.
Gosh, look at
He's
yes.
toast.
Whoa.
Wow. Are you talking to me? Is this the ball you wanted?
Look at.
Wow.
Whoa.
We like condense the
Wow.
rocks.
Wow.
Look at him. God.
Oh, shove it right up there. Put a cork in it.
Right,
Stack
wow.
'em. Tall bills.
Oh, God.
Stack it up.
All the different elements in the back.
Yeah.
Burn it up. We're back.
See?
Nice. That's great.
Take
There's
it
the
back.
tile.
Take it back. That's right.
Oh, I think he's doomed.
That's a gunshot.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Oh.
Yes, he's alive. Where is that crazy girl?
Oh, watch out.
Oh,
Yeah.
here comes... Oh, God.
Gosh, she's nuts.
Come on. Zuko.
Oh.
Come on, someone's got to get her. Ah.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh, sneaky chick. Come on.
Oh.
Filthy peasant. Ooh, water whips. Whoa. Oh, she's gonna be pissed. Na boo boo. Oh my God! Thank God she got rid of her.
Oh wow.
Here's a scar like Aang does.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, that's cute. Oh God, she's really mad.
Ooh! God, what are you going to do with her?
Wow, huh?
Wow.
Gee.
Wow.
Oh my
Explode.
God. Yeah.
Gotta give him credit. He keeps trying.
Just boom. He's just running away at this point.
right.
He's
Yeah.
just playing with him. Ooh.
Oh,
Slam.
Well,
Nice. And his mouth.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, it's, yeah. What?
Wow.
Oh.
Nice. He's taking energy. What's it? Oh my God, there's that. Wow. He's still. So unbended. Ah.
Oh.
That's a pretty cool
Whoa,
power.
that's pretty
Hey.
debilitating. He's putting all the fires out.
Wow.
Is it safe? Is it safe?
Avatar Aang. Look at him. Oh God. Jeez.
That's how it went down.
Jeez. There's the one.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Look at
So
him.
cute.
Nickname sauce. And then the comet's gone.
Yeah.
Yay. Look at him.
Yeah, good. Oh.
Oh, man.
She's alive.
Oh, that's cool. Oh boy.
Yes.
Smile.
Yes, sweetie.
Yeah, right?
Aww.
Aw.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh. I think she always was really positive.
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Aw.
Yay.
So happy.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yay.
Oh,
Wow.
Ding.
Yay.
Yay! Never thought I'd see that. Come on.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Hi, Dad. Where's Mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh,
Let's play the Sugi horn or something.
Mm.
Sungi horn.
Oh, T-shop.
cute. Oh my God! Watch the picture. Watch his painting. Oh, oh my God! Look at that! Look at that! Look at. That's right. That's right.
Always the blind jokes.
Oh, here. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
now we're back
Yes,
to
it-
business.
Oh.
Aw.
That's pretty. Oh. Are you going to kiss? Whoop, yes, they
Oh,
are.
she went for it.
Yay!
Yay!
Yip, 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 yip. Yay! Yeah.
Aw.
You deserve it.
Yep, so yeah.
Yay.
Wow.
The end.
The end.
The
Aw,
end.
Hey.
Yay.
Yay!
Wow. Just the last
That
4
was
episodes.
That
great.
was good. That's great.
Oh, the music's different.
Oh. Yeah.
It's dramatic.
Yeah.
The theme song.
We're conquering it.
That's right.
Aww. See, so what do you guys think? The
Wow.
end.
Fantastic.
I like
We
the
finished
end
another
very
show.
much. Yay.
That was a great show.
That was very
That
good.
was
in the
fun.
beginning,
That was fun.
the beginning when we first watched it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can get into this.
Yeah.
Because I
You've
never
never
watched
watched
Right,
a TV,
never.
like a
Never.
cartoon show
I was like,
before.
okay, I'll do it for you.
That's right.
And then you really got into it. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much character development in
Yes.
this. Like, so much.
Yeah.
They're complicated characters, and they've come so far.
Ah,
And I thought that was well done. Like,
Yeah,
it was a
it was
happy
very good.
ending for
Yes.
everyone, and I just love it. And you just feel complete. Like,
Oh.
everything's just so
oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
happy with the ending.
wholesome. Yeah.
Me too.
I just want to see what happened to Azula.
I know.
Yeah.
Didn't you feel bad for her at the
I
end?
didn't
kind of?
feel bad. I thought
I
she was
did
going to
too.
be like the next cell over, talking to Daddy. Like,
Like, hi, Father. It's like, oh, this is perfect. Now we can
oh,
bond.
I have some kind of
Yeah.
firebending I can kind of do in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw a
That's the
side
only
of her.
one tied the one end that we didn't see tied up. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So she went
wonder.
absolutely crazy to the point where she was
Yeah.
sobbing and just
Yeah.
like breathing fire everywhere. She just lost it completely. And just having Katara and Zuko there, just watching her, you can see that they felt bad for her
Yeah.
in that moment. Just seeing that side of her for how strong she was throughout the whole show and how brave and fearsome she was to really just fall apart like that.
Sure.
Because she lost everything. Again,
She
like
did.
the fear didn't really help her in her favor. It did for a while, but her friends betrayed her and she started to get paranoid, just didn't trust anyone around her anymore.
I thought actually she was even going to go against her father to be Fire Lord faster
Yeah.
at one point. You know,
Yeah, because it was
she
kind of
just
questionable,
doesn't
I
care.
think.
She just doesn't.
Well, because she was even questioning her father. Remember, she had that temper
Yeah,
tantrum at one
right, she
point
did.
when Ozai was like, you stay here, you can
I'm
be
going to
Fire
be the
Lord
one
or
that
whatever.
keeps king. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, we were going to do this together. I wanted to do this with you. And so she felt demeaned
Yeah.
by, being left there and not being part of the plan. So that kind of was part of her losing it, but so was losing her friends. And just to see her fall apart that much.
Oh,
And
yeah.
banish
At that end.
everybody and
Yeah, I got gotta say though, the way Katara took her out though in that way, I thought that was amazing. Yeah, because the way she bends, the way that Katara water bends is absolutely amazing, and I love it. But it's cool seeing these like great benders go against each other with different elements and how they'll go about it, you know. And I know Katara in different ways could defeat Azula, like I was saying before, with like spinning up water to the point where it's so sharp you can cut through anything. Not that you want to be morbid and like cut Azula up or anything, but there's a lot of different things you can do. So I was curious on how she was going to take out Azula at this point. And I love how she did it too, because here Azula killed Aang, and then she tried to kill Zuko. So I thought that was great that Zuko attacked and did an Agni Kai out of honor and stuff, and that's what Azula wanted. So I like how they had their own Agni Kai first, and Zuko technically won, and then Katara had a fighter at the end, because after everything Azula's done to like her friends and stuff, like I like how she had the final, the final fight too, and how she just froze them. How perfect was that?
And not only that, then she did another element of water bending where she liquefied herself to move.
Yeah, and kept her frozen.
She did it and layered it.
Yeah, that was great, and how they did that, because we haven't seen that kind of bending yet. I'm like, holy crap! And she had to think like in that moment. But Azula, like, she had her fire, like her actual lightning technique. So she was gonna like shoot her right in the face with lightning. So she had to act quick, because if she just delayed it just by a couple seconds, she would have been dead. You know. So I just love how they did that, and how they just froze it for a while, where we had to absorb the situation. It's just so powerful and cool, and how they did that. I'm happy that Zuko survived. That was good. And I love that moment too, where Katara was just so emotional to get to Zuko because she wanted to save his life. And I know they didn't show it in that moment, but I know she probably really helped him there, you know, at that. But, you know, when she saw him and was able to talk to him, and he was like, thank you, Katara. Like, that was sweet.
Yes,
you know, I thought
like,
that was a very good moment.
I mean, you're the one I should thank.
Yeah. So that was good. And I was curious how you guys were going to take that too, because again, I already saw this, and now you guys saw the whole show now, flying through our channel. And I thought that was sweet too. I was very happy for Aang at the end. Like, again, he's a young kid, but he's done so much already. He was going to die. Like, he just saved the world. So I'm like, he deserves.
So it knocked out when he got hit. It knocked it out. So what happened?
When they were in Ba Sing Se and Aang got shot by lightning and died or whatever, like he lost his avatar state connection. Well, he thought Katara was too important, so it was hard for him to connect, but he almost got there in that moment, and Zula shot him with lightning, which completely blocked the avatar state. So just fighting Ozai and then getting triggered, like it just hit that same spot, like that chi spot, I guess, that triggered the avatar state in a desperate attempt to survive. But at the same time, there could be a lot of debate there. I think they did such a great job, and I would not change it. Besides wanting another season of Avatar, because I love Avatar, because that would have been great. But I think they could have done more with Aang trying to reconnect with the Avatar state. Because I thought it was a little too quick for just getting knocked in the back to be like, hey, it's triggered, and having to defeat Ozai. But I love that moment when he does it, though, because when he just grabs his freaking beard or his big teeth thing, and he's like, I just felt like, like you're
and it was a long time just chasing after him. Like, I thought he was playing with him, like, you know, I can really get you. I mean, if you want to go through this motion, you know, I could really stop you right now, you know, but he was just letting him be the rat a little bit. I'll just let you run away from me and just make, you know, because he was doing that to him. Now I'm on the offensive, you're on the defensive.
Yeah. And I do love that too, where in the beginning, again, like, I love how Ozai and Aang were equals in fighting. Like, they were kind of sizing each other up. More so Ozai than it was Aang. You know, he was like full on trying to play with them a little bit. But they were like full on equal fighters, except Aang was using more elements, but still, like, they're equal fighters in that aspect. Then all of a sudden, Aang was getting overpowered by Ozai, and he got scared because not just being a kid, but he's a peaceful guy. And for Ozai to be so hateful and just so violent, and it was overpowering Aang, he got so overwhelmed that now he was the mouse. He was running away. He got so scared. And Ozai was just throwing everything at him and cooking him in that freaking rock. And then when Aang finally triggered the Avatar state and went after Ozai, like, Ozai was freaked out. And he was, like, running the entire time. So I thought that was a really cool change of events to see that happen. You know, like, I just love that. The whole battle sequence was cool. The terrain that they fought in was just awesome because you can use all the elevation and the rock, you know, it was just in between. I love everything about it.
And how ironic is it, because Ozai did it to he made it come out.
He triggered it because Aang was so
come
desperate
out.
to survive at that point, and he got triggered right in the back. But yeah, like I just love everything about that. And Aang looked evil. Like he looked so scary there.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
did. He looked like he aged
oh
like
God,
20 years.
Yeah, it's like, oh, now I'm an adult. Look what happened. And I'm mature really fast. But and even him talking to Ozai that it ends now or whatever he said, and it was all the avatars speaking through him alongside Aang. Actually hearing Aang's voice on top of all the other avatar,
you can hear it.
Was actually pretty intense and pretty cool to hear. And I'm so happy that he didn't kill Ozai at the end.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I am too. I think this is a better punishment. This is a much better punishment.
That's right.
Now
think
you
about
get
what
to
you
know,
did, and you have no power because that's what you were all about.
Exactly.
I love the ending too when he's like, I'm still alive, and he's so like,
I'm still the
menacing.
Phoenix King.
Yeah, and it's so like, oh wait, no, he doesn't have any power. Like,
oh yeah, for that time, yes.
I know.
But you gotta give him, you gotta give him a lot of credit. He was right to the end. He was relentless.
Yeah, and even when he thought he had the upper hand again, like he was scared of Aang, and he was a coward, and he was running and running. Aang did too at one point, but I feel more for Aang because he's peaceful and he's a kid, and he's trained a lot and he's been through a lot already. But I think it's just different for him, of course. But Ozai, to be so hateful and cocky and just to be so scared at that point and running away all the time, just to turn it back once he saw weakness and be like, you have all the power in the world, and then he tries to kill Aang again. And Aang I love that moment of using Toph's bending, because when you saw like the like the Doppler effect or whatever that was going over, like the light going over, the rings of light going over all the terrain, Aang sensed his movement. Just like Toph, that's how we knew he was moving, and then he just earth-bended him, locked him in place.
I love that. That was a great idea.
And it was weird seeing the energy bending, because we've never seen that before. It's the first time we've ever seen that. So were you guys kind of confused or like weirded out by that?
I was like, what the heck is that?
I like the narrative over it.
Yeah, and I like the green and the brightness of,
the different light sources, because they had the lion turtle who had the green light, and then Aang had the blue, and Ozai had the red. And again, colors can mean different things, but as we associate in this show, firebending's usually red. I mean, like Azula's blue, but it kind of just the way that it's simplified, where it's like red's evil, blue's good, just in that sense at that moment.
Right.
And I like how the lion turtle was different. He actually energy bended. So how crazy is that? So he can actually take away bending. I wonder if he can give bending too.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
That would be great.
I never thought about that because I'm sorry. Oh yeah, give it. Yeah, it's like Sokka. You want to be a waterbender, or do you want to be an airbender? Because I was like, if Aang's the only airbender left, like that's a whole nation. That's
might want an apprentice,
Yeah, so maybe he can give other people airbending powers. I never really thought about that before. Yeah, he could be an airbender. It's like I'm part of the water tribe, but I could be an airbender. Why not, right? But yeah, so that's an intense power to have, and maybe it will come in handy for Aang later, because he might have to choose some people to be airbenders or something. But I don't know if that's a thing, or if he could just take it away. I know he can only take it away probably right now. Maybe he has to learn later.
Well, I hope he takes it away from Azula, if she is, because she is. Off her rocker.
Yeah,
I know, and if she ever gets out again,
I
mean,
she's
who knows?
Gonna do destruction.
Yeah.
If not to someone else, it's going to be definitely to herself.
Yeah, because she's like really crazy right now. But yeah, she might actually start to plot again, calm down. Who knows? Just to get out of there, or talk to her father if they're close by or something. Sell neighbors.
Oh, jeez.
Hello, knock knock.
But there is a big mystery at the end. Where is my mother?
Where
That's right.
is...
Yeah.
So they left that open. That's why I was like, please do another season. But of course, like that was a good time.
Gran. It would have been nice to see Gran.
Oh, that would have been
good. I know. I love that with
yeah.
her and Paku. How sweet is that? I would have loved to see that.
Paku.
Yeah. And I do have to say, there are a lot of books that continued this series afterwards, and they're novels, and they're pictured novels. They're beautiful though, and I actually own all of them. And I know it sounds so crazy because I just. Maybe it's ADD, I don't know, but I just never sit and focus on something unless I'm doing a project. But when it comes to like, I don't know, certain things, like I did read books and stuff, but anyways, that's my point, yeah. So I read, I think, part of the first one, but I have like, I don't know how many novels, but I have like the complete set of like, 4 or 5 stories after this, and they're actually really good, and they take place right after, to a year after, to a few years after, and it's really neat. The drawings are really nice, and the stories are actually really cool. So I'll leave it to you guys to see what we'll do there, because I know we're probably going to miss some topics, and if you guys want to leave some questions below in the comments so we don't miss anything, we can talk about it. about this show and go from there, because there's so many things I want to say, but sometimes when we finish something, we do talk a lot and we always cover a lot of stuff, but there's always a couple things after I stop the camera that I'm like, oh man, like I want to talk about this.
Like, oh, next time.
Yeah, so we'll try to do something extra where we can talk more about it, but I do have the books, and there is a YouTuber, and I feel so bad, the actual company's name is Dark Horse, but there's a YouTuber who actually makes really cool motion comics, they're called, where he scanned in the images of, we'll say, Avatar, and he actually moved the characters and stuff, so it kind of makes you feel like you're watching the cartoon, but there's still images, and then you can like read what the characters are saying, and he has music on top of it. Yeah, and I think he actually works for Dark Horse, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. He is really talented, and so anyways, maybe we'll do that at some point, and then like just talk about anything that you guys want us to talk about with this show. But just to ask, now that we finished it, who's your favorite character overall that you really liked?
Jeez, let me think.
It might not be as simple as it sounds, because I know we like a lot of the characters, but I'm really curious.
My favorite is Iroh.
I love Iroh. Mm-hmm.
Iroh is my favorite.
Mine is Sokka.
You like Sokka? I love Sokka too. I know, I get so torn. I really love how far Aang has come, and I know that's not the point of this question, but I have a soft spot for Aang. I love Sokka. I'm going to still say Katara is my favorite.
Yeah,
I just love her. I didn't really care for her when she got really dark, but I understand why. It was a little out of character for me, but I understand where she was coming from, you know? But I really just like her overall. I think she's such a strong character. And I got to say, Suki, too, is pretty awesome, but she's not a favorite of mine, but again, all of them, like I love Katara, and then all of them are like right there though, like the main group. I love them.
Yeah, I loved Iroh. I loved his wisdom. I loved his,
such
his humor.
A great guy. No, Iroh's right.
His, he was just an all-around phenomenal character.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
My favorite all-around character is Zuko. Like for a story arc, I think that was amazing. It might have happened in shows before, but when this came out, I'm curious what you guys have to say there too. I thought that was the first time they actually took a cartoon character and made him like completely turn around into this epically good guy. And again, he was always a good guy, but he went through a lot of bad things, and he had to learn on his own.
He had to continue to be that.
And just to keep it light, just in case spoilers, if you guys haven't seen Game of Thrones, I kind of wish I did that a little bit and took some influence from this. Whoops, sorry, my alarm. 1 second. Maybe they did a little bit, and I love Game of Thrones, don't get me wrong, but some of the character arcs, I don't know, like I really just wanted them to go around like Zuko and then to go backwards. I'm like, what the heck, you know? But yeah, I thought he was the most amazing out of all of them.
He was. I never would have imagined, he was so annoying in the beginning. And so...
Like, I love it because he's so... It's kind of like General Grievous in a way, like General Grievous in the cartoon so far. We're still so new to Clone Wars, but he's so one-dimensional because he just wants things his way and he gets so angry. And they kept having episodes like that with Zuko where, of course, like we're just learning about him and stuff. And he's like, like he just wants the Avatar and he keeps yelling at his uncle. I know, just always bad-tempered. You saw more sides of him where he had a bad past and he was tortured, really. Like his face was freaking burned by his own father. His sister tried to kill him. His father tried to kill him eventually. Like, it was horrible. But overall, satisfied.
Yeah.
I think it was a good ending.
Very perfect.
Awesome.
It couldn't have been better.
I have to say, I am so happy for all of them. I'm happy for Aang, but that kiss at the end, I'm happy for them. I was like, that was a really good kiss.
That's right.
And I love it when they can animate a good kiss, because I know that's hard to do. And even with like Suki and Sokka, I love saying their names really fast too. When you think about it, Suki and Sokka, Suki and Sokka. But yeah, so I thought that was really nice, And I always saw Katara. Of course, she's only a couple years older, I think, than Aang. But I always saw her as a much more mature and older character. And like always like the mother figure and stuff. And then with Aang, but again, he's matured a lot too. He had a lot of pressure on his shoulders to save the world.
He saved the world.
And he really grew up in this as well. And it would be funny just to go back to like the first season, because I just remember this one part. It was like episode 3 or something when they're first visiting the Kyoshi warriors for the first time, and Aang and Katara got into kind of like an argument or something, because like Aang was getting all his attention and he was letting it get to his head, and Katara's like, don't let that happen. And they were looking at each other, and Aang was like this tall and she was like this tall, remember? younger, because there's like, there was such an age difference that, or like, you know, because they were a lot younger.
Right,
So it was just kind of funny that he sprouted a lot over the time, but it was just funny how like he was just so little in that moment that it just cracks me up. I just love that scene. So when we saw that, if you want to go back to episode 3, if it's still on YouTube, because I know with Viacom and stuff, the copyright and all that, even though we're doing fair use, that it might not be on there, but we have our full reactions though on Patreon. But it was just funny like in that moment, and I kind of laughed, and you guys laughed too, because like there was funny things going on there, but I knew more of it, so I was just laughing because I know he grows up, and it's just, I was like,
yeah, you knew the ending, what it was going to be.
So I just I think it went that way. Wow. Definitely satisfying. It's been so long since I've seen it, so I feel like, you know. Yeah. I thought it was cool seeing him in the Avatar state. He can just use it at will now. How he just like raised his hands up, and then all that water came in, and then he just went like this, and it just all dissipated or just all went away. I thought that was
how
really
ironic is it? This whole war and all the main people, they all lived.
That's right.
Yay!
They all lived.
I'm really happy about that. Yes, and even May, Ty Lee.
Everyone lived.
Yeah.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you know, all these wild animals and some people perished, you know.
Jokingly, they didn't show it, but when Toph was attacking people last episode and with metal bending in the blimp, and when she like put that guy on the ceiling with all that metal, I was like, he's dead, he's crushed, and then she's like knocking everyone else out. But again, at this time, even though they handle a lot of adult situations in this, on Nickelodeon many, many years ago, I'm sure they had a lot more strict rules on what you could show. We just are under the impression that people died. But at the same time with Jet, that was the joke with Ember Island Players, where they're like, did Jet die? That was very unclear. So I think he did die, but of course it's a cartoon from back then, so they can't really say he did, but it's kind of up to the viewer kind of thing. So I like how they did that. And I like how the creators actually came back to joke about it and be like, because we're not allowed to tell you, so we're going to make fun of it, you know? Netflix actually, I guess, bought the rights for Avatar or something, so they're going to actually make an adaptation, a more, like a live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I guess we're going to follow the same story, but there's going to be more, I guess, adult situations, and it's going to, I don't know, I was kind of nervous, but I'm kind of excited, to be honest. I think it might be pretty cool. We love Netflix, and especially Netflix originals, which I'm assuming that's what it's going to be if they bought the rights or whatnot or partnered up. So I think it's going to be good. And the normal creators of this show, a lot of the people from this show are going to be on this one. So I think that's great too. So that should be a really good scenario to be in, you know?
Right.
Yeah, because
follow the original.
Yeah, because this other movie came out by M. Night Shyamalan, who did Signs. And I do love Signs. I do like M. Night Shyamalan. I think he's so good, and that movie I love. I really do, right? And I never try to influence them on movies at all, but he loved Avatar: The Last Airbender, so he wanted to take this on. So he actually made his own movie of it, and it really tanked. It was not good at all. And it's one of those movies where I'll never make you watch it. And again, I never try to influence them, but that's one thing I will never let you watch, because, I mean, if you ever wanted to, okay, but the directing was horrible in it, and just the acting wasn't great. I think he tried to take on something, even though it's a cartoon, the story is so complex. You have 3 seasons. It's hard to take any kind of TV show and just put it into either one movie, and I think he wanted to do each book in one movie, but it was just all over the place, and he didn't, there wasn't a lot of focus on the characters and stuff. Like, it was bland, and he changed the characters and the names even. Aang's name now was Aang. He changed everything to the point where the original creators had no control over anything, and I think they were upset. I've heard, or I read some articles afterwards, because once he took over things, and I think Katara's name was the same, but Aang's name was now Aang, and I'm like, I get that you're, you know, taking charge on certain things, but when you start actually changing the people and stuff to make it more your thing, I kind of feel like that's stealing, and it's kind of insulting, you know? And with Sokka, they named him Sokka. Fans were like so mad, and that was like just the tip of the iceberg. We like to talk about icebergs in the show. But yeah, and again, it had some cool ideas, and some of the animation was cool, but they didn't explain a lot. And even with Appa, I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was like, oh my god, Appa, like, I know who he is, but they don't show you ever if he's like a good monster or good like animal or a bad animal. He's just always in the background. They never like really, from what I remember, it's like you don't I mean, we know because we've seen the cartoon, but people blind to it. Like when I brought Wookie, Ryan, also on the channel, who usually reacts with our other group, he didn't know what was going on. He goes, he kind of knew Appa from me, but he's like, he goes, I had no clue if that animal was evil or not, or was going to eat everyone. Like, so anyways, So, zip up. We're not going to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan, but I do have high hopes for the Netflix version. I think that'll be cool.
All right.
I'm talking a lot because I could just keep talking about Avatar.
That's right.
But there is another show called Korra. Have you ever heard of Korra?
We've heard of it. We've heard you say.
I was going to say through me.
I can say through you.
Because I think I mentioned it a couple times while watching this, but I bit my tongue a couple times because I almost started explaining, not like spoilers of the story, but they're kind of spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything. I just said it takes place after this, and I will say Korra is the next Avatar. I will say that because it is kind of in your face, because I actually own the box set. Now, I only saw, even though I own the whole box set, again, like with the novels that I have, it's like I don't finish. But I actually watched with friends, I think the first season, but I don't know if we actually finished the first season because I don't really remember what happened. I have all the other seasons and I never watched them. So I think it would be really cool for us to possibly watch that in the future. And already we're getting so many requests to watch Korra. So many requests because people knew we were going to be finishing this soon. And they're like, you got to watch Korra. I've been getting so many emails through Patreon, just my normal email, through YouTube. And we'll see.
Okay.
We will see. So any idea, just to throw it out there. So next Avatar, what does that mean? We know there's a cycle.
So
Aang was air.
Yeah. Water.
So water. And it's kind of sad, but I know it's a cartoon. But we love these characters now. You know, you kind of grew along with them while they went through this whole adventure. Only one avatar can be around at a time. So once Roku passed away, that's when Aang, got the avatar state or the avatar spirit. So when Aang passes, that's when the next avatar comes to be. So it might take many years in the future, maybe not. Who knows? So we'll go from there when it gets to us. We'll figure it out.
All right.
So whether we're watching Korra, whether we're reading the books or something, I guess we'll just, answer questions or anything about the show. But yeah, so I'm going to say Katara, you're going to say Sokka, and Kim is going to say Iroh, right? You said Iroh, yeah. Side characters, I want to say Boomy is funny. I know that's going to be your favorite, Kim.
Cabbage Man.
I want to say, Cabbage Man's freaking
I mean, even though it was like
random characters. Let's see. I'm going to say the foaming fanboy. Remember him?
Oh my God.
They should have had him at the end freaking out. That would have been funny. It's like, how'd you get here?
June.
June was cool.
June was very cool.
Yeah, June was fun. I really liked her character a lot. There's a lot of cool side characters. The pirates I really enjoyed a lot.
Oh, Swamp People.
The Swamp People.
I thought you said Swampy Balls. My mind go. The swamp people. Yeah, I did. I actually cut myself off. I just had like a cup and a little bit over a cup, and I was like, but yeah, like I love the swamp people a lot. They were awesome.
They were
I love the Boulder. I think he was probably. I was like getting such a kick out of him, and the Sonic Scream Toph actor.
Oh,
hey, I got a pretty good look at you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can just like name everyone. This is great. So please let us know what you think of this show. I am so curious. This is definitely my favorite show. I do. Again, like I saw this a while ago, and it's great. So I think we'll end it there.
Yes.
And I know there's going to be stuff that when I turn it off, I'm like, wait, I want to talk about that too.
It's been over a year.
Yeah, it has been. And honestly, I love watching things once a week because then we get to talk about it and. I think it's just different. I get more excited. Again, we binge watched, or not you guys, but I binge watched Stranger Things 3 after we saw it blind once a week. I binge watched it afterwards with Wookie all in one go, and it was still fun, but I did not enjoy it as much because even though I'm not blind to it at that point, it was just too rushed. And even like trying to talk to it with Wookie like a week later and stuff, he meshed everything together and you just didn't absorb it the same. Like you didn't have that time. Where you could actually really just appreciate it, It was more like, oh yeah, like what episode, I don't know, like, and he would even jump from episode 3 to the finale, and I'm like, no, that happened around here, like, don't you remember this? And when you watch things too fast, you just kind of forget certain things. So anyways, I like doing once a week, even though it takes us a while, and a lot of you are really awesome, and you told us that you do actually like us watching once a week too, because most of you, just because you get to like really just enjoy it as well, and it's not rushed. Because when we finished Game of Thrones, a lot of you were really sad, and well, before the last season, but before that, because we're all like, what the heck?
What the heck happened?
We were sad at the end. Yeah, that was our first main show that we watched.
That was. This is our second.
Especially when you guys are desensitized, that was like insane. Yeah, we watched this,
Not
and then
fully.
almost with Vikings, but we'll get there. So I think we'll just end it there for now. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye.
Bye.
Maybe we'll do discussion with the chibi. Oh, you haven't seen that yet. Ooh, that's a different thing that we can talk about. Animated shorts, where they're all like squished and chibi-like. Chibi means like big heads, like short body. Sorry, I'm like saying chibi like you guys
we don't
know what that is.
Chubby means chubby.
Don't you know what that is, guys?